All right, let's talk about DNA diversity. What are some of the facts that we know? Well, one of the facts is that mongrels in dogs or canines actually gives a lot of health benefits. Gives better immunity, greater greater physical um, attributes, and all around better health. We know that genetically, the ones that are bred to be a specific way gives for physical ailments such as hip dysplasia, congenital, and other issues. Same with cats. Same with many of the mammal species that are in the animal kingdom. The more specific genetic uh, specialization, the worse the overall health of that animal is. Well, one thing that the veterinary and zoology field has proven is that is all of what I just talked about, and they talk about this, but they've also made a point which the which human medical science and health, as well as other fields relating to human society, have poo-pooed or ignored, and where some in the medical field, those who are looking at more objective factual truths and common sense, have come to start turning towards the fields that established human societies and narratives have have uh, have basically adopted and said it's the truth, which is in fact not the truth. It's a fantasy. It's an illusion. It's propaganda, and basically it's just stupid. Stupid is that you know that uh, stating a factual on the ground truth can't be believed because humans are so much better because we're sentient beings, and the and animal kingdom don't have sentience. So it's poo pooed, and it's this it's this thinking of we're so much better when when for those who are objective common sense driven and can see a truth and realize it's a truth and try to change the thinking, are often relegated uh, to the dustbin and ignored. And what do I say about ignoring a truth? You spread ignorance, that you consume ignorance. So there's a channel that I just found. It has to do with one of the topics is I East Asian eyes. Uh, I can't remember it. I'll have to look into it and look at it more carefully so I can so I can remember the title of the channel and so on and so forth. But anyways, East Asian Eyes should be enough to look up on YouTube, and you should be able to find it. Something like Kento Bento or something like that. Anyways, it's something I come to realize. I'm almost 50 now, and I've seen this. I've seen this trend, and a lot of people who are in the entertainment, actors and singers, and those made famous, such as The Rock and Renee Zellweger, and many of the top in the entertainment field, uh, as well as well as even some in the political field. They The admixture of East Asian DNA has made them very attractive looking people. Siberia is a good example. There's a heavy East Asian mixture in the Siberian area, and also in the once Russian territories like Romania. My brother actually commented on that. He was in the Air Force for some time, and he was based in England, and he visited Romania. And I remember him remarking about how it's like everywhere he went in Romania, he couldn't see an ugly Romanian woman. So now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to spread this idea that Asian having Asian DNA mixed in uh, is a is a supremacist thing. I'm just This is about diversity, and diversity in DNA. Therefore, diversity gives better health, overall health in humans as it does in the animal kingdom. You get better immunity, you get better fit. Oftentimes, it gives you just a surface physical appearance that can be called attractive. Not in all cases, but in most cases, you get a better better physical look. One thing that the more heavily East Asian populations, like in the Eastern European areas, and in Russia, and in Siberia, and so on and so forth, is that you get a more physically trim person, and they naturally look more physically healthy. Uh, they can be often described as looking athletic as well, uh, and that's one of the benefits. Uh, it's because of the diversity in the DNA, and it's not just remember it's not just Asian. It may be a basis for Asian DNA admixture, but it's added to the indigenous people who are in the region, and who've had DNA admixture of East Asian. Uh, it's if we look at East Asians, we tend to be trim. Uh, we tend to be trim people, and it's only due to modern manufacturing and processing and adding in a lot of sugars and salts and other stuff that aren't necessary and actually is actually bad overall for our health, that we basically get obesity rampant in many parts of the world. So in the West, they all always like to talk about about exercising. But one thing I've come to understand is that it's it's consuming a diversity in our foods, and not uh, not consuming a lot of processed and manufactured goods that we call food, that is the main factor in our obesity and ill health. But even with that, those with diversity in DNA often have better health results, and can fight off even and help to fight off even the modern and modern ideals of food and so on and so forth. They have better health results, and the idea that the that money is also part of it, and it does play a part, but uh, but it's but if you look at like Joe Biden or Donald Trump or or a lot of other people who have a lot of money in politics and in businesses, their health isn't all that greater. Um, and even though they have access, I mean, you hear a lot of people that are famous and so on and so forth that have come down with come down with illnesses, even though they have a lot of financial and other avenues. I mean, just take for instance the one of the Supreme Court justices. I forget her name. I think it's Ruth Bader Ginsburg. No, not maybe not Ruth Bader, but she's had multiple cancer treatments. And but you look at some of the people that are typically called European or Russian, and considered in the white race, and uh, and it's ironic because the Nazi regime was all about that blue eyed blonde. But the thing is that's because there was that's because of the natives of those lands had a heavy admixture of East Asian uh, DNA mixed in over generations. Other DNA admixture. So they were truly the mutts of of the uh, of humans, and they got their genetic traits, which helped to help them to be to be healthier overall because of the genetic DNA admixture. So understand what I'm talking about is, I mean, let me go back. I made a comment on that channel about how The Rock not only has physical traits that entertainment and others have shown to be physically attractive, but also, The Rock has also economic, and that's partly because of the physical attractiveness of him. And then there's of course Tiger Woods. Uh, he he has a certain level of physical attractiveness because of the admixture of what's called African and Asian admixture, uh, which is simplifying, but the admixture. But but he's also economically in good position, as is The Rock. Um, there are a lot of examples of showing admixture of DNA DNA admixture that shows this prominently. And if you look at it and think about it, what you're doing is when you have diversity, uh, you are actually improving your overall health, your immunity, your stamina, your intelligence, and all that other stuff. Uh, Physical homogeny is physical homogeny in society, in ethnic societies isn't. I'm not really all for that because oftentimes when you have that and you have the perpetuated societal homogeny, you end up getting a lot of contradictions and other stuff, and it's um, so I'm pro diversity, and there are pros and cons to cultural diversity. There's a lot of pros to ethnic diversity that I have, and I have less on and a lot of cons for non-ethnic diversity. Um, Cultural diversity, it's a give and take of pros and cons. There are some pros for cultural diversity, and there are plenty of cons for cultural diversity. Um, so uh, if you haven't gotten what I was trying to say is uh, think of of uh, of ethnic and ethnic diversity or racial diversity, if you want to call it that. But I think calling it racial diversity is stupid and non-productive, and basically it's you're you're doing yourselves a disservice. Uh, I think ethnic diversity, adding DNA admixture from others, can only be a pro because it's going to help to give us over health, physical, mental, and emotional uh, health. Um, so that's it. And I think if we look at it that way, and we see that, and by the way, if you do even the if you just give a even a half-assed look into it, you're going to see a lot of research that's done into it that shows the more pros than cons to it. And so go diversity. Um, that's all I can say. And the physical part of attractiveness, that's just I was just using that as a surface level of showing the pros. It's just a skin deep thing, but more importantly, it's the protection, the that mixing the admixture of ethnic genetic diversity that is the benefit there. All right, thanks.